Hello, welcome to OMAT. Glad you're here. We're going to get started. But first, I want to tell you a little story. The other day, I was cleaning, and out of my face, I suddenly go, so no one's going to help me clean today. Now, there's only one other person within earshot. They know who I'm talking about and who I'm talking to. So why am I saying it passive-aggressively? Because what I could say is, hey, I'm starting to resent being the one cleaning today. Do you think you can give me a hand here? Vulnerability, yuck, I know, but the more I practice being in that head as opposed to just kind of throwing out the emotion that comes out, the easier it is for me to use that vulnerability muscle and maybe become a slightly nicer person is my hope. All right, let's practice. Let's get into our present moment. Here come my arms. We're here now. Whatever was happening before this, whatever's going to happen after, it's irrelevant for this minute. In this minute, we're getting into OMAT, into the meeting, and then into our first exercise here of gratitude. This is a very vulnerable exercise. I was very reluctant to try this when I first started, but it works for me. It shows me a different perspective than the one that sometimes I want to hold on to, even though it's not being useful. So let's practice this vulnerability of looking for something to be grateful for right now. All right, let's wrap for now. Find the water. And I've practiced this gratitude muscle for a while, so it feels really good. And it feels so good that sometimes when I'm experimenting, I could experiment in different voices in my head. And when I am experimenting, I lean on a voice, maybe something like, I guess I could put this on the list because I am grateful it exists more than, last year or whatever. And if that's how you're trying to be grateful, there it is. That muscle is still there. Fantastic. Let's keep going. Let's interrupt the thought. And talk to yourself, interrupt yourself. Go, hey, all right, I get it. You want to keep thinking about this. I'm just going to pause that thought for 1 minute, and I promise to get back to it. Maybe knowing that you can get back to it allows you the freedom to think about other things for a minute. Let's see what can happen. Sit in any comfortable position, eyes opened or closed, and breathe. As we come back, let's have some water. Sometimes the 1 minute of meditation helps me just let go of the muscles in my face. Sometimes I don't know that I'm making a face until I pause and notice. You just like kind of holding your face like this. Does that ever happen to you? Let's keep going. Let's write it down. If it happens to you, write it down. If it doesn't, write it down. If you don't want to write about that, don't write anything, but let's write right now. Let's wrap for now. Shifting focus, finding the water. Whatever you wrote, let's move away from it. Let's practice moving away from it. And stretch. We're going to do a sun salutation or any poses from the sun salutation. But let's start. Get as long as possible. Standing up as long as you can. Rolling the shoulders back and down. And we're going to start on an inhale. Inhale the arms out and up. Reaching up, looking up. Head is up. Shoulder blades are close together. And when you're ready, fold forward, hinging at the waist. And now we're hanging over our feet. And knees could be as bent as we want them to be. When you're ready, halfway lift. Flatten the back, look up, straighten out the legs. And let's meet in a high plank. Plant your palms down where they are. Step your feet back into a high plank. And then lower slowly all the way down to the ground. Once the entire front of your body is on the ground or mat, push your palms, your chest will come up, your head will come up, look up. And let's meet in down dog. I like to bend my knees from here, then hips up into that upside down V. And if that feels good, stay there. When you're ready, walk forward towards your hands, hang over your feet for a moment, and then start rolling up. Meeting the palms above the head and exhaling them down to the center of the chest. And if that's where you end, that's where you end. If you want to do one more pose of your choosing, your making up, it doesn't matter. Especially if we're moving slow, we're less likely to hurt ourselves. Let's have some water. Let's have some credit. It's difficult to walk away from what you wrote and stretch. You might not have felt like doing it and did it anyway. Good job. Let's do the same for this exercise. Doesn't matter if you want to or not. If we're not hurting ourselves, let's do the thing that we said we're going to do. Let's get in that ready position. Let's get our mind set to do this. And we can. Let's go. In 3, 2, 1. We're up in plank now. Get up in that plank right now. That's what we're doing for now. Agree to come up for 2 seconds and then see what happens. That's 10 seconds already. Now, if you decide that you're going to be up for 10 seconds, down for 10 seconds, it's almost like long push-ups. Go ahead. If that's what works for you, that's 20 seconds of time. Make sure that you're breathing no matter how you're working this plank today. Maybe take the pain out of your face. Maybe for 30 seconds, if it helps you grunt, grunt away. Maybe I like sometimes, honestly, to pretend like I'm floating there. You want to try that for 20 seconds? Try that. Try any thought. The floor is lava. I'm going to do 1 more second and trick yourself into the next second, whatever you can for 10 more seconds. And if you came down off the plank, take a deep breath, come back up for the final 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1, and you're done. That's the plank for today, for now. Come down off your plank. Maybe take a stretch pose or slowly walk your way back, whatever pace you want to do. Find your water. And let's find some credit. It's not always comfortable. It's a bit of a challenge to get into that plank mindset and then to follow with the action, go you. And let's go you. let's go into procrastination. Let's break that procrastination. We are practicing searching for the smallest task, searching for the task that we can agree is manageable for this minute. And that is part of the exercise. Let's remember it's an experiment and see what kind of work we can find and do it for this minute. Let's wrap the task for now. Find the water. That's what the experiment looked like. For today, we could look at the beakers briefly and move on. Let's go into our connections, into that vulnerability. I know, but here we are at the gym of vulnerability. So we're going to try something on. Put a small weight on your dumbbell. See if you can lift that. Start where we are. Let's look for some vulnerability and try it on. See what happens. Let's exercise right now. Let's wrap for now. Shift focus. Find water. Find a way to be gentle on ourselves. We keep experimenting. We're trying things on. If it doesn't feel as good as the clothes we normally wear or we're broken into, whatever, I get that. Change is weird. That's right. Let's shake it off. Let's move it. Move your body. Move it off. Or actually shake the whole time. Whatever feels good or whatever doesn't hurt and challenge us is enough. Let's get going in 3, 2, 1, and start moving your body right now. Right now is when we're moving. So take advantage. This is the minute it's going to happen in. If you do it now, you don't have to think about how you're not doing it. That's 10 seconds. And if you haven't started, again, you could sit there thinking, I should do it, I'm not doing it, or get up, you'll be doing it. You can have other things to think about. That's 20 seconds. Let's see how much energy you could put into this. Either keep that rhythm, go faster if you need or slower if you need. 30 seconds left. How's your face? Is it all squished up? Is that what it takes? Go ahead. Squish up that face for 20 more seconds or release. Let the pain go in the face. Find the energy in the body. Body and mind working together for 10 more seconds. What do you have? How can you finish this as great as your body and mind will allow for today? For 3, 2, 1, and you're done. There it is, all 8 exercises, plus all that in between and the water. Thanks for taking OMAT today.